Hello, this one is going to be for EFQ. You're asking about the year-long healing class that you're thinking about taking and if it puts you on the highest timeline. Seven of Cups reversed, Three of Swords, Ace of Pentacles reversed. This is about you taking back your power. This is about you, like, you're going to a healing class, I'm assuming with the intention to be able to help heal others, but you're going to be surprised at how healing the actual class is for you. So I'm getting a huge yes here. I'm gonna clarify for Seven of Cups, clarified by Page of Swords reversed. I don't know if you thought about doing this in the past and just didn't do it, or it's something that's like a long time coming. There's like a buildup behind this. There's like a part of you that you've done a lot of healing, you've worked on a lot of things, but there's part of you that's still not being fully expressed. And this is like the key that unlocks it. And then Three of Swords, clarified by the Star. Whatever it is that you're healing from becomes your superpower, becomes, like, I'm getting the image of like Aladdin on the magic carpet. That is what, whatever your pain is that you're still haven't all the way healed from, the healing that happens in that specific wound through this class puts you in this energy. Ace of Pentacles reversed, clarified by Four of Swords. So it's like getting into this kind of deeper access to deeper parts of your memories, it feels like, but not directly. Almost like you're able to heal things that you're not able to remember through a certain like modality or strategy that you learn in this class. It's like while you're learning how to do it externally, internally your brain is learning the programming and ends up using it without you even like putting in the effort to do it. Almost not putting in the effort, because you're putting in the effort, but like you're not specifically putting in the effort for what you're going to end up getting. It's like a bonus. What does this mean for the rest of your life? Justice, Ace of Wands reversed, King of Wands reversed. The whatever fresh start that you have been seeking that was blocked, Justice is upright, so it'll finally come to you. Ace and King are both in reverse. This is like all of the passion that's like on the one side of the door, that the class and like completing the class and all the wisdom and stuff that you gain from it is the turning of the knob and the stepping through the door. So like all this passion and drive and energy is already there for this. You just haven't figured out how to open the door yet. And this is going to basically teach you how to do that. Yeah, Page of Cups. There's Eight of Swords reversed. Freedom from whatever is blocking your inner child. So inner child, we think solar plexus, we think self-expression, we think creativity, we think how do you want your business or your hobby or whatever this is for you to look, right? Like on a individualistic standpoint. So it's like this, while it is a class that teaches you the background and everything, through the class you're actually also picking up on how you specifically want to do your version of this, and that is through this kind of healing and unlocking of your inner child that was previously blocked. It's almost like your inner child needs to see that you, hearing it's the vulnerability, your inner child needs to see that you're ready to produce and allow the vulnerability that it requires to really be in the position that you're seeking. And through the class, yeah, Six of Wands reversed and the Empress, a break from the past and getting into your highest timeline, the Empress. And she's even holding like a giant crystal ball, so, and a magic wand. So that to me is like helping people see deeper or see clearly, to allow for them to open the door to healing, to facilitate room for healing by breaking from the past. And Wands leads me to believe it's a certain mindset that has you trapped in the wounded inner child. What is that mindset? Knight of Wands. Okay, so we had the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Now we have the Knight of Wands, which would be the child. It's like you were already passionate about this at a young age or long ago, and for some reason you got blocked from it, either purposely or unintentionally from other people, like outside sources. This could be directly trying to block your gift, or this could just be trying to block your light. But yeah, the Devil reversed. I didn't even know he was back there. You've overcome whatever it was that was previously blocking you, and that's why you're starting to align with this again. And it's almost like going to this class is your current self showing your inner child that you're aware that you're getting back into alignment, and that you're willing to kind of be a beginner at something. Because here's the thing, on a soul level, your soul already knows all the stuff you're about to learn. I almost feel like that's why there's some questioning, like, should I do it, should I not? Because your soul is like, well, I already know it. But like at the same time, you were led away from it and you're coming back to it. So it's about letting yourself be a beginner at it again. Like obviously in this lifetime you're a beginner at it to some extent because you're taking classes to learn more. So there's still some element of wanting to advance, but it's like there's also this higher level of like been there, done that, but need to like reignite the knowledge that's already there. Oh, there's the Page of Wands reversed. So now we have the whole Wands family. Where did the Knight go? Here we go. So you're getting the message, you're understanding what your higher self is saying to you. Now it's just about putting it in action in terms of healing your inner child from whatever mindset was holding you back, making you feel like you needed to look elsewhere instead of where your soul was calling you. I feel like it's outside influence, prejudice, yeah. What if you were categorized into a group and given attributes that were false without truly knowing who you are? Yeah, it's like outside sources that tried to lead you. But it almost feels like people were like, looked at you like, oh crap, it could be dangerous to be that good at something. Like almost like they saw the potential for you to be too good at it and were like, well, let's try and guide her somewhere else so that she doesn't put herself in danger, it feels like. But like, obviously that's, yeah, Six of Cups, Ace of Swords, a truth from childhood. Ten of Wands reverse, releasing a heavy burden. Yeah, it almost feels like people were like, oh, doing that, like the healing and the spiritual, like maybe back like when you were younger, that was still kind of in the phase of like taboo, and maybe it was like, okay, well, let's try and guide her somewhere else away from it. But it really feels like you're coming back into what you knew at some point in your life to be where you were supposed to be heading. First, know your worth. Second, control your emotions. Third, never settle. You tried to take another path and you realized that your soul was still calling you this way. They don't have a problem with you. They have an issue with their own relationship with themselves in relation to you, and their ego won't disclose that at your expense. Yeah, it's like not a you thing. It's like either intimidated by your potential in this or trying to protect. It feels like, honestly, like I don't know what other word to use but weird, but it feels like a weird combo of both. Protect and intimidation. Is that fair to say? Yep. Queen of Cups, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles reversed would kind of be like the opposite of that protective, grounded energy that would have facilitated this to be a part of your life sooner. And the Queen of Cups is like true empathy, compassion, and the qualities that you would need to be a healer, and it's upright, so like you being in flow with them. So it's like, feels like trying to protect. All right, so what do you need to know about the class? Knight of Cups, the Hierophant. You're gonna freaking love it. The Hierophant makes me feel like you're going to find some people who are like your people and going to start to build that sense of community from. Knight of Cups is kind of like a flow of energy, a flow of emotions. Is making me feel like you're going to find your people who kind of relate to what it took to get you to this point. Feeling like at least 2 people there's going to be that you're going to meet. 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles would be the environment. 2 of Cups would be the connection. There's 2 dolphins there. Dolphins communicate through like different like water blow things and different noises. So to me, that's like the soul speaking without words. So to me, this is like an instantaneous, like I see you, you see me type of connection where you're able to start to build that community. The Fool, taking a leap of faith on yourself. Judgment in reverse. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be a little vulnerable when it comes to, you know, you're taking a class. Some people you might never see again. Some people you'll want to build lifelong friendships with. Let yourself go with the flow. Like if you're, basically you're putting yourself into a position where you're switching over to more soul-led, and it's like this is your first opportunity to test that out, right, with a temporary situation. Because if you're in a healing job after school, that's more permanent, right? But this is like a temporary in-between situation where you're able to kind of test out, let me let myself be a little bit more vulnerable, let me let myself talk to this person, let me let myself, you know, ask some questions that maybe in the past I would have held back on, those kind of things. Let yourself do all of those, especially with the Fool here and Judgment in reverse. It's like, don't let the way that you judged yourself in the past hold you back from getting the absolute most out of this experience, because that will make a huge difference in what unfolds after. King of Cups reverse and Temperance. Yeah, not holding, it feels like a lot like vulnerability is what needs to be unlocked here. Like you're obviously learning like intellectually what they're teaching you, but you're also learning through others how to unlock that vulnerability. And Temperance is like bringing the balance to that through watching others and kind of taking it in and then creating your own version of what you want that to look like for yourself. 9 of Swords, 2 of Swords, 4 of Cups reverse. This is about getting out of your head and doing it differently than you've done in the past. So like maybe you've tried this, or maybe you do something similar already. This is like focus on whatever like curriculum they're teaching. Learn that, obviously be in the moment learning that, but then take it home in the sense of like when you get home or get back to wherever you're going, how can I relate what I learned today and translate that into how I need to more deeply unlock my vulnerability or get more comfortable with my vulnerability. So if they're teaching a specific way to communicate, like learn that, and then also when you get home, when I'm doing this, how can I be sure that I'm not blocking my vulnerability or scaring myself out of that? The Tower and the King of Pentacles reverse, because it's almost like part of you, when you sense the need to be in that true vulnerability, you mentally start to retreat because there's a little bit more grounding or like coming back into your body that's needed, that's a little bit scary. And the reason isn't because you're not ready. It's simply that inner child wound that needs to be addressed, because it's like, instead of just being able to just be, there's this thing that's like, oh, I'm still here and I'm a big scary wound. And the more you don't look at it, you're like, oh, it must be a big scary wound, I don't want to look at it. But really it's just your inner child that is trying to get your attention. So it's that you're going to kind of learn through whatever you're learning in the class how to heal that piece of you or that part of you that it's like a different perspective on something that you already knew. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords reversed. Yeah, a different perspective on something you already knew. We had the King that was in reverse, so about not being grounded. This would be about coming into the healing, coming into your body. Queen of Swords is reversed because it's like a new way, a new perspective of looking at something that you already knew, that you weren't able to fully express, to transmute yet, but now with whatever you're learning there, you will be able to do that. What is your soul lesson? What's your soul lesson when it comes to the decision of going to the class? The law of correspondence. See life as the ultimate mirror guiding you to the highest version of yourself. You literally said the highest timeline. If that's not a confirmation, I don't know what it is. It's like all of your timelines coming together, past, present, future, for the one purpose. So I think that's your, like, yeah, sign up right now. And then what's your soul lesson from the class? Oh yeah, go sign up, because it says the law of abundance. Opened your mind to prosperous nature. That's your guide saying, in case you didn't hear us the first time, we're going to say yes again. Work on how you act when you feel disrespected. Control your mindset to control your energy. There's like some barrier of a defense mechanism that needs to be a little bit more let go of, so that you can excel as much as possible in this position. Could you excel without healing that part? Sure. But like, you'll have another notch ahead if you're able to do that. You've healed too much to not raise the bar on who has access to your energy. So anyone who's telling you can't, block them out. Anyone who's not on board with what you feel your soul is calling you to do just isn't meant to come to that chapter with you, or just isn't meant to hear about it till you're done. And then you can make the decision if you feel as though the people who weren't there for the come up deserve to be there in the celebration. Oh, slow success builds character, fast success builds ego. The journey is part of the blessing. So there's an element of like needing to really let yourself be in the moment and enjoy the process, and not rush through it and be like, okay, this many days till I graduate, or this many days till I'm done. I know you said it's a year long, so it's like, allow yourself to be in each day of the year and not be like, this is how long I have left. Because when you start doing that, it's like future forecasting, and you're not picking up everything you can in the moment. Think of it as like collecting puzzle pieces. Like as the teacher talks and as you interact with other people, you're collecting these mental puzzle pieces, and they might not make sense in the moment, but they will make sense at the end. And it's like some of these puzzle pieces you aren't going to be looking for, but you're going to have to be present in the moment, like an Easter egg that comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh crap, it unlocked this whole other part of the puzzle, and now I can see this picture clearly. And those are the moments that unlock your personal healing. So you want to make sure you're present in the moment for them. The Lovers reversed, yeah. Don't make choices that you're going to later regret, Wheel of Fortune, because there's a lot that you're going to unlock from being present in the moment, from kind of cherishing every interaction. Look at it as a gift that you're giving yourself at the appropriate or the right time. That couldn't have happened sooner because you needed every previous experience to be able. It's almost like the puzzle piece goes in your ear, and then your brain has to decide keep or send out the other ear, right? And it's like, you only get a split second to make the decision, and you have to know which ones to keep and which ones will just kind of clutter the table. So you've needed every previous experience to know how to instantaneously make that decision. So you're ready for it now, and that's why you're aligning with it now. So I think it's very important that you go sign up. King of Swords, Ten of Swords reversed. You're stepping into your power, your authority, your truth, and you're taking all the swords out of your back. You're quite literally making a ladder out of all the swords that previously represented the pain and the experiences that brought you strife and heartache. So you're quite literally building the bridge forward for yourself and turning your pain into your purpose and your passion. So Sometimes it feels right, and other times I feel like it might be outdated somehow. 8 of Wands reversed. This is like, don't delay. Upright is like, do it fast, and in reverse, to me, right in this moment, it's don't delay, because we don't want to rush. 8 of Wands upright would be fast, rush through it, hurry up. This is like the information in and of itself, and maybe you could look for a class that's not as outdated, okay, if you feel like that one is, but I feel like it's less about the actual information and more about the experience, because for you, you have the knowledge. It just needs to be almost like a scratch off. You need to scratch off the layer that's on top of it so you can remember what's underneath. So find the most like up-to-date version of the class that you can get, but I feel like at the same time, it's not 100% about the information, it's more about the experience as well. It's like a balance of the two for you. So find the most in-date one you can, but balance that with knowing that there's also a big portion of this that is the experience and the connection and what you're building from it. And I wish you the best. This is for RE1226. You just switched jobs and you want to know if this new job is where you should be. The job, you, and the energy between. So for the job, we have the King of Pentacles reversed, which leads me to believe that you're going to eventually reach some kind of ceiling at this position where you're going to kind of outgrow your role. In what way is that going to happen? Strength reversed, Page of Wands reversed. You're going to want to do more. You have like a bigger passion than what you're able to do long term at this position. It may even make you doubt yourself, like in terms of complacency. Like I would say, look at this as more of a temporary in between, especially with the 8 of Wands reversed. It's like not going to happen quickly that there's a change. You're meant to be there for a period of time, yes, but permanently no. You're coming up as the Page of Swords. So to me, this is you learning very important lessons from this current job in terms of how you want to present and represent yourself for future positions, and especially in interviews. Something about this job is going to make you interviewer. 5 of Pentacles. Almost like what you're able to overcome at this job, or what you're able to learn through challenges in this position will help you in future interviews. 8 of Wands reverse, 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, like you're meant to get a good deal of lessons and experience from this position, and then you're meant to go on to bigger and better things. Am I doing the right thing? I'm doubting myself because I'm not good at it yet. Are you doing the right thing? Right off the bat, I'd say absolutely. We have 3 of Cups that came out in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, and Page of Cups upright. So this is like not a quick thing. This is like letting yourself be a beginner. This is the inner child. So it's healing your inner child through allowing yourself to be a beginner and not have to be perfect at it. Usually that stems from an inner child wound that you were made to feel like you were never doing enough, or you were never doing the right things, or something like that. So essentially life has given you now an opportunity to adjust the perspective that your mind has when it comes to that. So in order to correct course there, you need to allow yourself to be a beginner. So you're doubting yourself because you're not good at it yet, but this is a stepping stone in the right direction. And that stepping stone actually kind of comprises at least partially of not being good at something and going on the journey of getting good at it. So I feel like you're doubting yourself because you're not good at it yet. That's a key component. That's key telling you there's still more to learn and there's only up. So I would say that we're in the right direction here. The Magician and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, we're in the right direction. You're learning how... It's almost like if your brain is a supercomputer, you're learning the coding of everything, and then you're going to kind of figure out what that means to you and how to project that from your own standpoint. You're learning yeah, Three of Cups reversed would be the independent element of it, like bringing it in, processing it, and then projecting it outward. So you've definitely stepped out of your comfort zone. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's like going back. Knight of Swords. Going back and figuring out how previous experiences helped prepare you for something that seems a little different or a little out of your comfort zone, but looking at previous experiences in your life, you're going to, or now able to be like, oh, I can see how that prepared me for this part and that prepared me for that part. There's a lot of, getting a lot of like swords, a lot of expression. What, like, your current job is helping you prepare to express yourself again in a way that you had like previously shut down. Why did you shut it down? Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Fool reversed. Unwilling to put yourself back out there in certain ways when it comes to, feels like social or even just like ideas and confidence in like, confidence in your inner authority, like feeling comfortable and confident to like take up space. Like this current position is preparing you to do that more confidently again. Ace of Swords reversed and the Moon reversed. People projected a lot onto you, and part of you believed what people were saying to you, because it's almost like if people were saying, oh, well, this isn't going well for you because blah, blah, blah. And you look at it like, oh, well, that isn't going well, so blah, blah, blah must be true too. But in reality, it was like that thing might have not been going well, but it wasn't because of the reason they said. So there was a lot of kind of reprogramming that was needed. Ace of Swords is reversed and the Moon is both reversed as well. So it's like you had to sort, excuse me, you had to sort through and figure out what was true and what was not in terms of what was projected onto you by other people. The Moon is making me think, because it's in reverse, like not going with the tides of the moon, not just accepting whatever situation you're thrown into, not just accepting what people say to you, but kind of breaking it apart and not, it's almost like you've been giving your authority over to other people because someone convinced you that you shouldn't have any. And it's like, because of that, you've been allowing other people to hold too much like rent-free space in your mind. So this position, this job, you're witnessing yourself going from a beginner and advancing, and you're in a position where you're very hyper aware that because you're saying, I'm doubting myself because I'm not good at it yet. You're in this position where you're hyper aware that you're not where you'd like to be. So this is the process of watching yourself go from there to the next step. And if you rush that, or if you try not be present for it, you're not going to advance through it, because that's the entire purpose of this position, is to watch yourself go from point A to B to C, to convince yourself that you're capable, because we have that inner child that needs to be convinced of it. It's not even your inner child needs to be convinced of it. Your inner child needs to watch you be convinced of it, so that you don't go backwards after you get the progress from your efforts. So that's kind of the purpose. Yeah, the High Priestess and the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is like, you're so close to shifting this perspective. You've gotten all the other, like, imagine that your inner child wound is this box, right? You've gotten all the other pieces out of the way so you can walk straight to your inner child and be like, okay, time to heal. But in order to like move your little avatar player closer to the box on like the video game controller, hypothetically, that is the experience and the lessons and the knowledge you gain from this job as you advance, right? If you weren't learning anything, if you already knew everything, it wouldn't be doing that for you in terms of progressing closer to the next stage. So I would say definitely allow yourself to be a beginner here. Two of Cups reversed, and there's a lot, Five of Wands, there's a lot of, I don't know if this is competition in terms of like other people trying to outshine you, or competition. It feels more competition with like the past version of yourself that has the potential to either like push you forward or hold you back, depending on how you perceive it and how you're looking at it. It's like a double-edged sword, right? It could do damage or it could help heal. I know that's not what a double-edged sword does, but in this example it does. So it's like you could be your own worst enemy or your biggest adversary, and it's like, or your biggest cheerleader or your biggest pusher. Yeah, King of Cups and the Lovers. It all is going to be in how much or how little you allow your emotions to be triggered, because what's being triggered is your inner child. So when you feel, oh, I didn't do that to the best of my ability, those are the moments where it's like, am I gonna say, okay, I didn't do that to the best of my ability, I'm still a beginner, I'm still learning, what do I need to shift, what do I need to change? Or in that moment, you could say, oh man, I've never been enough. I never did enough. I knew it since childhood. You know, there's no point in me doing it. Like that's the moment where you can take one path or the other. And if you continuously take that path of being like, okay, what can I learn? I might not have done my best, but I'm accepting and acknowledging that I'm just a beginner. So what can I shift? What can I change? If you continue to take that path instead of blame, shame, and guilt, you will advance a lot more quickly and you'll enjoy it a lot more as well. You've healed too much to not raise the bar on who has access to your energy. There it is. You can't beat someone who refuses to quit. And you'll never be placed in a storm you can't navigate yourself out of. The universe doesn't want you to break down, it wants you to break free. So you're freeing yourself from the mental constraints of whatever was previously holding you back. It's like the example I give often of the hot air balloon, where you're in a hot air balloon, it's ready to take off, but there's 20 strings underneath, and you have to reach down and cut away some of the strings. As you start to cut the first strings, the other ones will eventually start to snap under the pressure. So we're looking at what is holding you back, and it's like your psyche, your higher self, has given you a map of how to find what's holding you back through tracing the wound of your inner child. And you can trace that wound by figuring out what in you gets triggered when you feel like you're not giving or you're not performing at 150%. Not making yourself feel like you have to be a perfectionist when you're still in the learner stage. Like, let yourself be where you are. Yeah, 3 of Wands reversed and 9 of Swords. Don't be in your head about the future. Don't be always, well, I should be up here, when you really only had the time to be here. You can't expect yourself to be here when you've only had time to be here. So letting yourself be a beginner. What happens after this? Where do you, Queen of Wands. Immediately I thought, and I don't know what your position is, but immediately with this I thought like social media, or like I'm getting the reference of like when a tattoo artist has all their work in like a book, and then the book, like the book of all the pictures, gets like put in a magazine or something like that. Like, you're honing in on a skill that you will eventually make public in whatever way that looks like to you. That could be advancement, that could be more responsibility, or it could be taking a skill and making it like social media doable. What else? 7 of Cups reversed, 8 of Cups reversed. You end up using something from your past in combination with what you're doing now in a way you wouldn't have expected. But it's like that doesn't get unlocked. That's the social part. You end up somehow mixing what this current job is, mixing it with that Queen of Wands social element. And the bridge is something from your past, but not something that you anticipated or expected to use in this way. What is it? Ace of Wands reversed. Something you felt passionate about, and there may have been some kind of false start, or like, oh, I really want to do this, or I really want to experience this, or I really want to learn about this, and then like something put the flame out, like putting one of those like candles with the globy thing on top. You put the globe on top. Well, not you. It feels like somebody else put it on there. to put the flame out. But you're going to end up reigniting the flame because it's going to mix together with what you're currently doing in some way. But not immediately. It's like you don't get the key to understand how you're going to use it until after a good amount of the inner child healing is addressed. Yeah, the Hermit reversed and Justice, coming out of your shell, finally getting what's due to you, restoring the balance, good karma coming from all the effort and energy that you're putting in to allow yourself to be a beginner and allow yourself to put in effort and energy to advance. But it's like you have to turn on the light inside so the light can shine externally. And imagine in this case, this is kind of an example I give sometimes too, but the inner child, imagine that the inner child is really what guides our way from the inside, in terms of like, that's the light, because that's the part of us that stays connected to the present moment and joy and simplicity, and like reminds us why we're really here, because children just come of love and from love. So imagine that your belly button, this is a little weird, but just stick with me, like there's a light that comes out of your belly button, and your inner child is the one that has to turn this light on. So we're trying to now convince your inner child to turn the light on, so it's more easy for you to see the path forward. Once you have your inner child turn the light on, you're already doing and learning, but then you can kind of see what's already there, but it's like turning the lights on in what was previously a dark room. So it's really about convincing your inner child that it's safe to turn the light on and allow you to access the ability to have this come to you more easily or more flowy, where you don't have to constantly question yourself. Almost like you'll see the jolt in when you finally convinced your inner child, because you'll wake up one day and be like, oh wait, when did I get so good at this? Or when did this start to become so easy? Temperance and Four of Wands reverse. Yeah, whole change in environment. What is keeping you from the victory right now is that balance. What's keeping you from feeling like you're able to be at 100% right now is the need for that balance. So in order to restore or give yourself that balance, what's throwing the balance off is the inner child. What's the inner child shadow? Inconsiderate and negativity. So someone was not very compassionate or thoughtful towards your thoughts or feelings, and someone had a pessimistic attitude. So kind of just almost like your inner child had to carry around this like negativity shield. It's like you were inconsiderate. So you were the bearer of the brunt of someone else's bad day pretty often, it seems like, and your inner child had to put up this shield. So imagine now, belly button light, and your inner child's like, oh well, if the person sees the light, then they know where to put the negativity. So I'm going to cover the light, so the light's not coming out of the belly button anymore, can't see the way forward, so that the other person doesn't attack me, because they only attack me when they see the light, right? So your inner child did that to protect you. So now it's you convincing your inner child that it's safe to put that back down so that you can see the light again. But I do see that this will come more, it's almost like it does come naturally to you at times, and then other times you're like, wait, where did it go? Almost like it's like a signal that's disconnecting. And that's why it's like your inner child's like, oop, I'm turning the light on to like look around, and then I'm turning it back off. And that's kind of what you're experiencing. So as you look at it from, okay, how can I make my inner child feel safe to turn, yeah, 10 of Wands reverse, putting down a heavy burden. Ace of Cups reverse, Holy Grail. So it's like you have it, it's there. You're in the right place, doing the right thing, taking the right steps forward. It's not your final step, but it is the next step, and it is the correct next step. And the Ace of Cups has a white dove on it. So it's like the purity of your inner child is being restored. There's just a little bit more work to do still, because you haven't put down the heavy burden yet. When you feel like, okay, finally, this doesn't feel like a burden, or I don't feel like I'm questioning if I'm a burden. I feel like that's a lot of what it is too. You were made to feel like you were a burden, and you're convincing your inner child that your inner child is not a burden, and that you want your inner child's help in terms of creativity and light and inspiration and joy and being present in the moment. When we have trauma or negativity that keeps us from wanting to be present in the moment, that's the only place our inner child lives, is in the present moment. So that essentially cuts off that connection, because we're like, hey, I don't want to be present in the moment. And our supercomputer brain only translates that to, oh, inner child, go away, because that's the part of us that's connected. So this is really less about you becoming anything or like gaining any skill, because it's almost like a scratch off. It's there, you just have to scratch it off. And what's covering it is that inner child, the inner child wound. Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Pentacles reverse. It's about cutting ties with anything that's not working for you. Again, it's not about becoming anything. It's not about gaining. I mean, obviously you increase skill and you get better at things, but it's not that it's not there and you have to get it. It's just that you have to scratch off anything that's covering it from increasing what's already there. Especially with the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely in the right place at the right time, definitely doing the right things, definitely heading in a positive direction. 10 of Pentacles is reverse. It's again, reaching under that hot air balloon. What is not supposed to come with me, and how can I make those adjustments so that it doesn't hold me back? 5 of Cups reversed, Ace of Pentacles. That's pretty much what I just said. 5 of Cups reversed is like, I'm acknowledging what is causing the milk in my cup to taste sour, and I'm dumping it out, and I'm giving myself this Ace of Pentacles fresh start when it comes to finances, when it comes to stability and security. Last card, what do you need to focus on the most? 6 of Wands reversed, a break from the past. A break from the past in terms of getting your passion back and breaking with whatever mindset was keeping you trapped or stuck. And I wish you all the best. Next is for KM. What is next for me job-wise? Oh, Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords. Okay, so it's coming in quick. The Fool and Queen of Pentacles reversed. So you're going to have some kind of opportunity here to align with a more direct form of self-expression in whatever you do for work. The Knight of Swords is like a quick moving energy. We have the Fool and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So you're going to need to take some kind of leap of faith on yourself, but you're not in the right state yet to be ready to take that leap of faith. So while the opportunity is coming in hot, or this change is coming in hot, what is coming in hot is the preparation. So it's not like the next step is happening immediately, but it's that you need to start preparing for the next step immediately. Get clarifiers. Queen of Swords, 10 of Swords reversed. So whatever you're stepping into is going to be better than whatever you're going to have to walk away from in order to step towards it. Knight of Swords, 9 of Wands reversed. There's something about your current or last job position that is just shy of what would have been fulfilling. Maybe not just shy, but it's shy of what would have been fulfilling for you. And that is the element that is going to be abundant in the next position. So whatever was lacking before, you're going to get to see what it feels like if you weren't lacking that thing. The Fool with the 10 of Cups reversed. There's a lot of like, we have 10, 9, 10, and we also had 10, or no, we had Queen of Swords up top. 10, 9, 10, and up top we had 2 queens. And one's upright, one's reverse. This is like a completion of a whole cycle, but both 10s are reversed while the queens are 1 upright, 1 reversed. So it's what you're resisting is the letting go of something so that you can start the new cycle. Your mind is ready, your heart is ready, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired when it comes to work. Like you're ready to be challenged in a healthy and positive way. Yeah, the Hermit reverse. You're ready to let out the light that you've been working, understanding on the inside. What do you need to do to align with your next? 9 of Swords, the Emperor reversed. You're not sure what it is that you're trying to achieve, so it's then very difficult to know when you've achieved it. So it's almost like your guides or your higher self are like, hold on, before we get there, let's define where it is that we're trying to get to, so that when we get there, we can say, hey, I've accomplished something, because that's part of the journey and the process as well. King of Cups, King of Wands reversed. There we go. We had the Queen, upright reversed, King, upright reversed. So we had Queen of Swords come out first, and that was upright. We have King of Cups coming out upright. So Queen of Swords, you're looking for a more straightforward way to use your intellect or your ability to communicate with people, or you think of like whatever you've been doing vaguely, you're meant to do more direct. And then with the King of Cups, this is like the environment that you were in before wasn't like, either you weren't meeting the work friends that you wanted, or you weren't getting the promotions or the experiences. It's like you're looking to balance the masculine feminine balance within you, and we all have both, and it's meant to counterbalance each other. Balancing that will allow you to figure out the next step, because in reverse we have Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands. So where we're blocked is because we are ungrounded and not sure what the steps are that we're trying to achieve. Our passion for said path is delayed. So this is like figuring out what ignites that spark within you, and then figuring out the action steps of how to get closer to that. Eight of Cups reversed. There's definitely things that you're going to have to let go of. This feels like routine, mindset, habits. It's like you're trying to not waste your time by aligning with just a position that's going to be like an in-between. You're trying to get something that's going to be either fulfilling or at the very least financially lucrative, right? So it's like hopefully a balance of the both, right? But like you're trying to get at least something better than what you had previously. And this is like, don't waste your time doing the same old. You're meant to take a step forward and a step up, but there's some things that are out of balance. Yeah, Ace of Cups reversed. The Holy Grail is there. You're actually able to achieve more than what you're currently thinking, but you're the one who's kind of standing in your way in some regards. What's the message here? Behind every strong person is a story that gave them no choice. And it's a cheetah. It's like these things can happen for you quickly, which to me usually indicates that what needs to happen is a shift in mindset. Oh, take care of your thoughts when you're alone. Take care of your words when you're with other people. So there's a lot of like forward movement coming through holding back less in self-representation. The Star. Holding back less. This is the public reverse. So not holding back anymore. Kind of putting yourself out there. Ace of Swords reverse. It's like what's holding you back from this new beginning in terms of this self-representation is just not trusting yourself, like that you have more to offer. All right, so what are your next steps to get the job that you would be happy with? Eight of Pentacles reversed. Doing things differently than you're doing right now. The Moon reversed. Page of Pentacles reversed. This is like a complete change of course. The Moon reverse is like, maybe now that I've said this, or maybe there's an additional or other revelations coming to you soon, but it's like you start to kind of realize things that fit into this message, that fit into a real life scenario that you're like, oh, that would fit there and that would fit there. Eight of Pentacles is like you've been trying it one way for this amount of time and it's time to pivot. Page of Pentacles being reversed here is like your manifestations are kind of blocked from coming in. Why? Five of Wands, mindset, Two of Swords reversed. Making a final decision about something. It feels like making a decision between like stepping out of your comfort zone or doing the same old, or like even just applying for type of positions. Like it's almost like you're talking yourself out of even trying, and if you would try to get one of those like bigger goal positions that aren't really bigger goals, they were your original goals that you talked yourself out of, but if you go back to them, it's like you get rewarded for stepping out and taking a chance on yourself. Knight of Pentacles reverse, Death reverse. Yeah, it's like going back, unplanting the seeds that you thought were going to sprout because you're recognizing that you need to plant them in better soil. And then Death in reverse is like I'm overcoming whatever it was that was keeping me stuck in that previous cycle. So moving forward towards the job, action steps. King of Pentacles reversed, Two of Wands reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed. I'm wondering if there's someone that you know. It's either someone you know helps to ignite a passion, or someone you know has some kind of position that they could kind of get you your foot in the door or your name on like the table or something. Queen of Wands and the High Priestess, social queen and someone who has some kind of higher connection. Who is it that you know that I'm so seeing? Five of Swords. Someone who previously was competition. In what way? Temperance in reverse. What just came out? Queen, no, that was already out. I don't think anything else came out. Temperance in reverse. Someone who was competition, threw you off balance, but is now what? So that was the past. What's now? The Devil. Judgment. Seven of Pentacles. You have more options than you think you have. Temperance. Someone who threw you up like competition. Could it, like an ex, like maybe an ex of yours has I guess an ex of theirs that you're cool with or something? Like, I don't know. There's some kind of past connection here that's being called to bring up that's important, that could get you a foot in the door somewhere, but it's not who you would expect. It's weird. It's like, I don't know if this is exact, but the reference that I'm getting is like if my son's father's girlfriend were to get me a job, like that's the reference that I'm getting. And like, I'm cool with her. Like, it's not like there's no animosity. It's like, it would be like that. Like, it's not someone that you have beef with. It's not someone, but it's also someone that there's like, I don't know, like a different kind of connection with. That isn't the only way. Is that fair to say? Yeah, the Hanged Man. That's not the only way, but it is a way that you could kind of get your foot in the door somewhere. It's almost like that's going to be presented. It's not that you have to seek it out. It's almost like it's going to be presented to you at some point as an option, and you're meant to be prepared for it. Yeah, the Empress and the Page of Cups. A past connection that allows you to have the opportunity to get some kind of higher up position, support. Yeah, it's weird. What is your soul lesson for this time period? And then what is your soul lesson for your next job? This time period, the law of emergent evolution. Make a new declaration for your life. Yeah, it's like you have to write it down, see it, figure out what your goals are so that you can then achieve them. I'm going to link in the description the career manifestation card I made. Anyone who's watching is welcome to use it, but I feel like you should use it. This is kind of what that's saying to me, because it just helps you get very clear about the experience that you want, and it allows you to draw that energy into you then after you get clear about it. Oh, the law of perception. Look beyond the illusion to the one truth. So you're going, that's what it is. You're manifesting your next position. You're going to decide what you want, put it on paper, and then take steps forward towards it, and then show yourself how you created that opportunity for yourself based off of what you wanted. Because whatever your next step is after that requires you to know that you're able to manifest and create your reality instead of just settling for it. Nine of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles. They have their teamwork again. Someone you didn't necessarily care for at first. Someone who may have even blocked you from getting what you want, because I had the previous competition. But it feels like this person wasn't your competition. It's someone who's connected to that. But Three of Pentacles is teamwork. Or it may be saying that your next job where you end up working with someone who's like an ex of an ex or something along those lines. So what should I tell you in terms of finding the next position? The Tower. You're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. Big time. Strength, but you're ready for it. Queen of Cups reversed, even though you doubt yourself. Four of Cups reversed. it's going to be the only way to get what you want here. You're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. It's going to be the only way to get what you want. You're ready for it. Let me get a clarifier for 4 of Cups reversed. 3 of Cups reversed and 10 of Pentacles. You're using what you already have in your arsenal, or what you already learned, or a skill that you already have, but in a new way. So think of, you said, what is next for me job-wise? What either were you really good at about your last job, or the job that you last enjoyed? Or what is it that sparks that passion? And then how can you use that to get your foot in the door somewhere as quick as possible? Because there's an element of this that's like enjoying the climb of it as well. So you don't have to be all the way up to the level you want to be at right off the bat, because there's an element of climbing. Let's see. 7 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's, you have more options than you think you have in terms of how to use what you already have skill or talent wise in your favor. 4 of Pentacles in reverse leads me to believe that the next environment, the next position, the next responsibilities going to be vastly different than what you previously were experiencing. Yeah, the Hierophant reversed and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Going back to the start and being a beginner at something, even though you kind of have some experience or knowledge in the field, but you're a beginner because you're honing in like more directly on a specific topic of some kind. King of Swords reversed, the Lovers reversed. It's almost like you've gone back and forth towards this type of position or towards this type of decision and talked yourself out of it because you didn't feel ready. 10 of Wands, yeah, you didn't feel ready, but you're now ready to step. So this next job, this next position that you're aligning with is the position that you wanted before you settled for your last job choice. Like the position that you wanted, where you were like this or that, and you chose whatever your last job was over that, over going for that or interviewing for that or accepting that position, whatever it was. It's in the direction of that. It's just you had lessons to learn over here, but now you're going back over here. What does that pivot look like? 3 of Wands, 5 of Cups, 7 of Swords reversed. It's more long-term, it's more sustainable, it's more not hating going to work every day and being like, oh, I could do this, you know, like this could be maybe not a permanent forever job, but at least I'm not counting down the days till I get the heck out of here type of thing. It's like you're going to be able to use something that was difficult for you to learn or overcome. Now you're able to use it, and it's almost like that is healing in and of itself. And with the 7 of Swords reversed, it's like a changing or a reversal of strategy. So it's like, I keep going back to the same thing of using your skills or talents, but in a new or a different way than you were before. Yeah, 3 of Swords reversed, a release. Turning your pain into purpose or passion. So it's like, pivoting more, connecting with people, but using a skill that you already honed in on. Yeah, 4 of Swords reversed. Something that's not going to bore you. It's like an exciting element of mixing all of those things together. I feel like you may have been really bored at your last job, or you just are don't want to take a job where you're bored. Like you need the mental Ace of Wands, you need the mental stimulation. That's very important as well, is making sure that you're seeking jobs that you know are going to give you that, and not just filler jobs where you know that you're signing up to be under mentally stimulated and then kind of get antsy and frustrated because you feel like you're underachieving. Yeah, the Magician reversed, as I said, that injustice, because you feel like you don't want to feel like you're underachieving. You want to feel like justice, karma, you're getting what's due to you. You want to feel like you're able to put out a lot so that you're able to yield back a lot. Wheel of Fortune in reverse and Chariot reversed, because that's not what you had in the past. That's not what you were experiencing previously. Let me get a couple hints about what is next job-wise for you. 9 of Diamonds, high energy electricity. Yeah, you're not going to be bored. You're going to be excited. Psychic. So that could be spiritual root, or that could be, you kind of already know what I'm talking about by this point. Plan change. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, money coming in. So more abundance in terms of fulfillment, and more abundance in terms of, you might not start out making more than you made previously, but how I said there's like that climb element that's important. That can be money wise as well. You might not start at more, but there'll be quick room to climb, especially with high energy electricity, like fast. Electromagnetic or a crush, works with electricity or government. So maybe that, or electricity again could just be you're excited to go to work, or it's high energy, or mental stimulation is where it needs to be. Queen of Hearts, but she was in reverse. So this is psychic but reversed. So you may know what I'm talking about, but you may not know, because this is a character card, how to get yourself into that position quite yet. The truth of an emotional matter, but it was in reverse. So business, you don't know. Emotionally, you know you can do it. You just don't know how to get your foot in the door in the position. 7, work card, overburdening yourself. Stop looking at what's going wrong and focus on where opportunities could lie for you. Nose to the grindstone, a hard worker or workaholic. So basically you're questioning if you're prepared enough for this position, and you're actually probably over prepared, but you're definitely ready. The power of chance, evaluations and attention to detail, a magic charm. Why do I feel like somebody else is coming in and it's gonna like align with like, hey, do you want a job? I don't know. 5, cutting away, going at it alone. The left hand. An operation. An operation would be like, hey, do you want a job? You're going to, the steps are going to start to unfold for you as you focus on making those adjustments. But I feel like there's somebody important that's going to come out of nowhere and play a crucial role in whatever your next job ends up being. I don't know if that's, hey, I know about this class, or it could even be mentioning something to you in passing and then you sitting with it later and being like, oh, I'd kind of like to do that, or I'd kind of like to look into that specific company even. Something like that, but that's what I'm getting, and I wish you the best. This is for VS66. You want to know about your soul path. Let's see. Oh boy. So we're starting with rebellion, and something leads me to believe that you are not surprised by this card being the first card that comes out, because you've always been rebellious. Overcome, because you've had to overcome a lot. Now, what is the reason? What is the soul path? Uninhibited. All right, so we're getting a very clear message here. You're meant to go against the grain in a very direct way. It's very telling that you asked soul path and not career path or life path, because you know on a soul level that you're on this soul path. You're on this soul calling. The Magician in reverse, 3 of Pentacles, but you've been blocked for a period of time and you've figured out that you were blocked and you're trying to align with it. Why were you blocked? 9 of Pentacles reversed, 5 of Pentacles reversed, Page of Swords upright, Knight of Cups reversed. Somebody wanted to keep you from using your gifts, trying to keep you kind of knowing that they were there but unable to fully access them. It's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's almost like someone has been in your energy, kind of using your gifts to some extent here, and you're taking your power back. I think that's why we started with rebellion, overcome, and uninhibited. And as I'm saying that, High Priestess, what's going on here? Hold on a second. 7 in reverse. A magic charm, but in reverse. A hard worker or workaholic, but it was in reverse. I'm wondering if you recently... Okay, so the 8, we had the 7, now we have the 8, but they're both in reverse. So taking steps backward to take steps forward. Your job routine, group conversations, job opportunities, your environment. But it was in reverse. I don't know if you know this, but it feels like you just got out of some kind of like hex or curse or something. Like if you had a lot of stuff in your life recently feel like you were underwater for a long time and you finally came up for air. King of Swords reverse. It's like somebody speaking ill on your name or someone trying to block you. This, I mean, could even be from a past life. Oh, 6 of Cups. It's from a past life. Okay, so it may be someone in this lifetime, but it's because of a past life problem. It's not something you did in this lifetime. That's why you couldn't have known about it, or probably didn't know about it, because you couldn't have understood that it wasn't from this timeline. In order to live and experience the growth that you have been moving through, you must let go of the old. You deserve this. And it's like a different path of gold forming. Observe and take nothing personally. Take everything for what it is. Yeah, it's not a personal thing. It's like, I don't know, karma from a past life, but not karma like ill-intentioned anything you did. Karma like someone wanted to block your light and were successful in doing that. They were successful in a past life of blocking your light for that lifetime. So it's like now in this lifetime you have to earn it back instead of having it just accessible to you. And it's like that has been wearing off. Yeah, 2 of Wands, the path that you're now taking. And look at the sky all opening up. It kind of looks like heaven coming to earth, right? It's like you're finally aligning with this path. 10 of Cups reverse. 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. It feels like family in a past life that blocked you. I don't know. There may be instances in this lifetime where now looking at it, you're like, oh, I can see how this scenario or this relationship may be acting as breadcrumbs to let me know that there's something that needs to be healed under me and that underneath of like who I am on the exterior, and this circumstance or person is trying to trigger that wound so that I'm aware of it. Page of Cups, yeah, childhood, inner child wound. Whatever it is that is, yep, there it is, 8 of Wands, communication, 9 of Wands reversed. You have these walls up, right? And the walls that you have up are because of some specific family wound. It could be like mother wound, father wound. It could just be inner child wound. Not just, but it could be inner child wound. Something like that. That's your soul path. Helping others heal from that. Or doing something that is aligned with the transmutation of that type of wound. 5 of Cups reversed. Yeah, walking away, healing. Page of Pentacles. The reason you haven't figured out your soul path yet is because it's almost like you were looking to face away from this wound, when in reality you're meant to face it head on and actually use it and mirror it back into the world in some ways, like how you were able to heal from it and not let it hold you back or hold you down. Egocentric. So the ego wound, jealousy, ego wound, jealousy. To me, that feels like a mother wound. Is that the Tower? Yeah, mother wound. Okay. If it's not from this lifetime, it's from a previous lifetime. It feels like it's at least partially from this lifetime, though. Feminine energy. Rebellion, overcome, uninhibited. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. And they're all feminine energies. And this one's like kind of ghostly. your soul path is tied into however your mother wound is triggered. Like your immediate reaction when your mother wound is Queen of Swords reversed. Your immediate reaction when your mother wound is triggered, yeah. You're meant to look at that, and then there's this Japanese concept, it's called Ikigai. It's what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, what you can get paid for, what the world needs. The intersection of them is what you're meant to be doing. So what you're meant to do is fill in those blanks, look up Ikigai, Ikigai, and then focus on filling that out through the guise of I'm meant to be facing my mother wound head on, or the triggers from my mother wound head on, and helping. There's like a stage of helping to heal others, but before that, there's a stage of getting yourself to understand the pain behind it. Is that fair to say? Two of Cups reversed, Ace of Wands. Yeah, like it ignites your passion and helps you overcome other relationship blockages with other types of relationships in your life that had stemmed from that initial or original wound. So the wound itself, what are the triggers? Love is what you are. So kind of taken away from the essence of love, that could be conditional love. I love you if you do this. I love you if you don't do this. Whispers of your soul. And it's the peacock that's colorful. So that would be the male peacock. So because of this specific wound, there's an imbalance in the masculine feminine. And if you think of it like a seesaw, if one side's off, the other side is off in the opposite direction. So when your divine feminine got trapped in that wounded inner child position, it caused your divine masculine to step forward and be in the position of survival mode to try and protect the wounded inner child. So in order to get your divine masculine out of survival mode, which will be the thing that would act as a barrier to the vulnerability that your soul path requires, there needs to be that balancing out, and that's going to begin through the healing of that, what I believe to be a mother wound or something very similar to that. Yeah, the Chariot reverse, it's what's blocking you, but it's also what frees you. It's also what becomes your superpower. You might not see it coming in that way because you don't want to look at it straight on because you feel like it's too painful, or you feel like you won't be able to understand it, but that's actually your next step. The Emperor, Eight of Cups, King of Cups reversed, and the Sun reversed. That's actually your next step. It gives you your power back and allows you to walk away from and leave behind the parts of your story that were not serving you because the lights were not on in the room to allow you to understand how those pieces were meant to play a part in your bigger picture of your life movie. Then we have the King of Cups reversed and the Sun reversed. There's the divine masculine being in survival mode. Your divine masculine is in survival mode in terms of emotions. So what that means is your divine masculine will focus on anything else but your emotions. It doesn't want to be alone with them. Your how your thoughts connect to your emotions. Your divine masculine's like, nope, can't do that right now. Have to protect the inner child. Then we have the Sun card in reverse, which also has two children on it. So a boy and a girl. So there's your balancing out. Once you balance out, you're going to see very clearly how every piece of your puzzle so far has led you towards this bridge that you can now create to use all of your pain and everything that you've been holding in to take steps forward. Strength reversed and the Devil. You had to go and face the devil himself to try and convince yourself that you're worthy and capable. That quote that's like, shock everyone, your path is harder because your calling is bigger, that's Strength reversed and the Devil. Oh, and as I say that, Ace of Swords, truth comes out. So your path has been harder because your calling requires you to have certain experiences, knowledge, and be ready to hit the ground running when it comes to those things. Four of Wands reversed, to never let yourself get too comfortable, to never let yourself take a defeat or a temporary setback as a permanent failure, and just to keep pushing forward. You've had to push forward a lot. 10 of Wands reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, 6 of Wands upright. You've had to push forward a lot. This is like things that you thought were going to happen, you ended up putting in twice the effort and getting half the reward, and you just kept like taking it hit after hit. You were like, oh, this sucks. Why does this keep happening? Like almost like if the image I'm getting is if you, like your person not in a car, you were just like walking through the car wash, like, but you couldn't get out. Like it was just like, and then you get like hit by this wave and this soapy thing. It's like that. But 6 of Wands is the victory that comes after the 10 of Wands reversed, putting down the heavy burden. 5 of Wands reversed, realizing that life wasn't out to get you, it was just out to prepare you for said soul purpose and soul calling. So that's what your Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, that's what you're stepping in towards now. What needs to be overcome? What is the main thing that holds you back? Quick-tempered. Think before you speak. Put space between your thoughts and the words that come out. I feel like you already are either not surprised by that, or maybe you were like, oh, something's going to come out about that. 9 of Cups, yeah. I gave you what you wanted to hear. Almost like you needed to be called out about that, because it's been increasing a little bit lately. And it's been increasing a little bit lately because it's your soul telling you it's time to make these changes. There's a quote, and I don't really even tend to like this person, but there's a quote by Jim Carrey, and it's like, depression is when your avatar gets tired of the role that it's been playing. And it's like that. It's like your soul is guiding you to step forward into this soul purpose, but what needs to happen is you need to face this wound head on. And you've been doing things to avoid that because you're not sure why you're being called to do that, because you're not really sure how to understand the wound in and of itself. 7 of Cups, but you have more, Hermit in reverse, you have more options than you think you do, because you already know the way. You've already done this inward journey, and now it's an outward expression of what you already completed inwardly. And what that means is your soul already prepared to handle these emotions, and that's why it's now handing them over to your psyche, which is then projecting it into your reality, giving you experiences that will then allow you to process what's already happened. So you're ready and able and capable to face this wound that you're scared to face. Queen of Pentacles, Judgment reverse, and the Hierophant. You have a spirit team, you have this support. Even if you don't see how you'll be supported yet, you're ready to face it head on. Queen of Pentacles, you've done the work to ground yourself and give yourself the lessons and experience that will help you navigate through any difficulty that comes in rising emotions when you face this. And Judgment reverse is like, stop being so hard on yourself all the time. That's a learned trait, and the person that you learned that from isn't someone that you would want to repeat those lessons to someone else. It's not like you're going around being like, oh, you should be as hard on yourself as I am. So lead by your own example and stop being so hard on yourself, because it's not you, it's a program running from somebody else. 7 of Wands reverse, and it's time to shut it off, to shut it down. Say, that's not my energy, and I will not. Ace of Pentacles, I will not hold myself back. I will give myself a fresh start. I will give myself a fresh chance. I will reground myself and say, that's not mine. I know what is mine. I know what is, and I know what isn't, and that energy is not mine. 3 of Cups, knowing what belongs to the collective and what belongs to you, and knowing, because that's going to be important if it comes to, and when it comes to using this wound and turning it into some kind of purpose for your life, because we go through everything for a reason, and you're discovering that reason, you're uncovering that reason. So there are going to be difficult moments, because basically you're creating a foundation on ground that was difficult to get there. It's almost like you had to go and dig up every bucket of dirt and then put it on the ground and create this solid foundation for yourself. So you have emotions already invested in this. It's not a new path. So there are going to be difficult moments, and it's like you're being prepared for them. Yeah, 9 of Swords. This would be the difficult moments. How are you being prepared for them? Death, 3 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. Staying very committed to not running from your pain or your shadows, but being like, hey, what's up? Let me figure you out, Mr. Shadow Man, and figure out what you're meant to teach me. You've been doing that. And you've been doing that not knowing why, but now you're understanding that it's because that's what you needed for your soul purpose. That's the kind of preparation that you needed. Warrior. That about sums it up. Demolisher. These cards are rebellion, overcome, uninhibited, warrior, demolisher. It's like, you know, when they are like at battle in war, at like the old times, when they're all on the horses on the front lines, and like one guy from this side runs up and like yells some stuff, and then this guy yells back, and then this guy goes back to tell the other guys what the guy said. Like, that's the image that I'm getting, is you like running out in front and like being the one to face some kind of adversity head on, like going ahead, leading the way in some way, because that's what you've been prepared to do without even realizing. Resilience. It's like she's in the water. She could be drowning, but she's not. She's staying afloat when she could otherwise be drowning. On the back is humanitarian. I just said leading the group of people. So yeah, there's definitely a big soul purpose here. I feel like with the information that I've given you, you probably have at least semi of an idea, but in case you need a little bit more, what can I say to you? Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race, 1 foot in front of the other. Plant seeds. Seeds don't sprout immediately. You plant them, you water them, and then they sprout and grow. So be patient with yourself. King of Pentacles reverse. Allow yourself, don't expect yourself to go whoop right to this King of Pentacles energy, because you first have to be the Knight of Pentacles to build up to the King of Pentacles. So don't expect yourself to be in this energy when you still have to learn and water those seeds, right? If you do that, you'll fall. You need to take it one step at a time, and maybe make it a hobby before you make it a career, or study and make it an interest before you make it a career. Like, make it really align with the energy of what you're going to be doing, because it's really going to impact your life a lot. Yeah, 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords, because it's starting from a wound that was very painful, had some kind of strategic element to block your light, at least in a past life, and now you're taking out these swords to build yourself a bridge, but the process of doing that isn't necessarily going to be painless. Temperance, but you're ready for it. You're ready to handle it. You're ready for this bigger purpose. What do you need to hear? Closure is a scam. Accept what they did and move on. Expect little from others. Expect a lot from yourself. Here it is. This is the one. Your truth will bring out the worst in others. Your love will tingle what they've numbed. Your authenticity will provoke closed minds. Your aliveness will reveal many mental prisons, but help to set even more minds free. So when you're stepping into a purpose that's big like this, you have to be prepared. And that's the culmination of everything that you've been through so far, has been the preparation. So now it's just shifting into alignment by facing that wound head on. Even if you don't remember it, even if you don't really know how to, it's taking a step and knowing that another step will then be revealed to you. Ask and you shall receive, which is manifestation. And I wish you the best.